Hi, and welcome to our masterclass today, which is the 4 steps that you can take to lose weight as a woman over the age of 50. My intention today is to have you walk away from our masterclass saying to yourself, why has nobody told me this before? So today I am going to show you how to lose weight with ease over the age of 50. I'm also going to share with you how to get back that energy you might have lost. Also going to share with you how to stop those cravings that so many of us get, especially for sugar and those sweet things. So the question to ask yourself is, am I in the right place? Am I going to learn anything today? Well, answer these questions for me. Are you a woman over the age of 50 that has really noticed that your hormones have changed? So that would be symptoms like you may have found that you've gained weight, especially around that belly area, maybe in your back, your bottom, and your legs. You found that you are tired, that you just don't have the energy that you once had. You've noticed that when you go grab a glimpse of yourself in the mirror, things just don't look like they used to look. So you may find that your muscles have gone and your body shape has completely changed, more drooping rather than lifted up. And you may find that your metabolism has slowed down. So you're thinking, I tend to eat the same, yet I'm putting on weight. I don't understand why. If you are a woman that loves to learn new education, the latest research, the latest science, and really enjoy looking after your health and fitness and wellness, especially as we are aging, well, if you said yes to any of those things, you are going to enjoy today. So please stay with me. Well, we're going to get started, and I'm just going to share with you who am I and how can I help you.
Well, this is me, Dana Eden, and I am a personal fitness trainer who specializes in showing women over the age of 40 how to slow down the way we age through how we eat, how we move, and how we think. You may be asking, what got you to where you are today? Well, this is my background, ladies. I started as a personal fitness trainer in my 20s, actually as an aerobic instructor, teaching step classes and tummy butt thigh classes. You remember those aerobic classes. I then went on to create Dana's Health Studio, and it was a personal training studio where we were starting to specialize in weight loss, fitness, and rehabilitation. It was in this studio that I was lucky enough to really specialize in acquired brain injuries and worked intensively with those with disabilities. From there, I went on to find Health Club 50, and Health Club 50 revolutionized senior health. This health club was able to provide those over the age of 50 with the exercises needed to slow down the effects of aging. I created BeFit videos for older adults, which was all about fall prevention. I was the Australian distributor for Theta inversion tables, and this was all about spinal health inversion. And during this time, I was really educated about the importance of looking after our spine. I became a health and fitness speaker, and I've spoken on many stages to not only community, but also other health and fitness professionals. I was the activity coordinator in a nursing home here on the Gold Coast, and this really allowed me to see what our future holds for us Should we choose to exercise or should we choose not to exercise? I became the creator of the 12-week lean body system, showing women how to lose 10 kilos in 12 weeks without dieting or crazy exercise regimes. I also created Ageless, Fit, Fast and Fabulous, and now we have available the Live Longer online health club, especially designed for women over the age of 50. This is my family. We have Rob up there on the left, and Rob and I are married. We live on the Gold Coast, and in the middle is my mum. And my mum, that's her crown when she turned 80. She's now turning 84, and my mum is currently going through those first stages of Alzheimer's. So it's been quite a challenge for our whole family. On the right, we've got Pluto, my pup. He's a Kelpie. We got him at 8 weeks old. He is very active, and we are learning as parents how to be a good mum and dad to a very active little boy. These are my children. We've got Harry, our baby, Chelsea, who's my eldest, and Fletch, our middle one. You can see the kids here are all holding balls, and we were playing 10-pin bowling that day. What I will say about my kids is they grew up knowing all about balls and games, be it basketball, ping pong, tennis, handball on the beach, or, as you can see, 10-pin bowling. Always in for a game, always a little bit of fun, and the kids are just great. As we start to head into learning more about step 1, you may be asking the question, well, what makes you so special in regard to weight loss? Yes, I have worked with older adult health for many, many years, but the reality is I was like every other personal trainer. I'd been given the information on how to lose weight in a general sense. You know, when I was 48 years old, I decided I really wanted to dig deeper and find out how those girls got up on stage as fitness models with really low body fat in their bikini. What did they know that I didn't know? I went on my journey of discovery where at 49 years old, you can see here I am in my inny teeny weeny bikini girls, where I was getting up on stage at the ICN Fitness Queensland Championships. And this is where I learned about how women's bodies work and what are the tips, the tricks, the strategies to really allow our bodies to get into such incredible shape. You know, I went on again just last year, 54 years of age, and competed again. Once again, I just dug into the research. I had my own personal coach who had a lot of experience in this area, and these are all the strategies that I want to bring forth to you today, along with the research and the science of what currently is being said about women over 50 and weight loss. Alrighty, let's go. All right, well, let's get started into those 4 steps that if you choose to follow along with today, I can say to you, this is what you can expect. You can expect to start to lose those excess kilos of weight that are making you uncomfortable. You can expect to lose centimeters, especially around your waist area. You can expect to start to feel more comfortable in your clothing because your body shape will change. You will find that you'll be able to get back that nice lean muscle tone, and you'll be able to get rid of that excess body fat that you may have accumulated. You will have more energy, more vitality, you will feel more confident, and your body will be healthier and fitter. In fact, your body will be acting younger than it currently is. So girls, happy days. How much better does it get? Let's start.
Okay, let's talk blood sugar. Now, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Question 1 is, do you think fruit can potentially make you fat or stop you from losing weight? Interesting question, and we're going to get to that. Number 2, how can you stop those cravings that we often get? Me, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And number 3, do you get that afternoon slump where you just feel like you need to have a sleep? Why is that happening, and what can you do about it? I'm going to share a story with you. Dr. Stephen Gundry, who is an American physician and a retired cardiologist, has clients to help lose weight. And in his clinic, he sees clients regularly, and he shared one story in particular, which he wanted to help us to understand how blood sugar can be affecting us losing weight, especially as we're getting older. So his client was in her 50s, and she went on what we called a keto diet, ketogenic diet. And for those of you that don't know what a ketogenic diet is, it's one of those trendy diets out there at the moment where you basically feed your body quite a bit of fat and not so much protein or carbohydrate. And the idea is, because you're feeding your body so much fat, that it stops your blood sugars from rising, and it allows you to lose weight with ease. Now, I don't recommend this diet for anybody, so please don't go, that sounds like me, because there are a lot of problems associated with that. But what I wanted to share with you is this client over the age of 50, she went on this ketogenic diet and she put weight on. She did not lose weight. So she went back to Dr. Gundry and she said, what is going on? And so Dr. Gundry, being the doctor that he is, he asked for blood tests, and he discovered that her blood sugar levels were elevated. So her blood sugar was no longer coming back into a healthy range. In other words, she was pre-diabetic. Now, the way that it works is, there's a little bit of science, so stay with me with this bit, is when you eat food, it rises your blood sugars, predominantly carbohydrate and protein. And when you rise blood sugar, so blood sugar in your bloodstream, it's got to go somewhere. And so what it does is it gets to your muscles in your body, and it stores in your muscles to be used as energy, because it can't stay in the bloodstream. But what did I say happens as we get older is that we start to have less muscle, didn't I? I said our bodies are a bit more droopy, less muscle. And so there's not as much place for the blood sugar to store. And so it knocks on the door and says, hey, I've got sugar for you. And the muscles go, sorry, I've got no room here. You can have your sugar back. And it sits in the blood, and the body goes, well, this isn't healthy. This is rotting out my arteries. What am I going to do with it? And so it says, I know, I'll store it in the fat cells in and around the tummy area. And so when we go on these ketogenic diets, what's supposed to happen is that the blood sugar isn't rising because we're not eating carbohydrate, we're not eating much protein. And so the body automatically uses fat as its source of energy. But what happens if your blood sugars are not stable because you're over the age of 50, your body is aging, and your blood sugar is a little bit up and down or unstable, which, honest to goodness, is probably between 60 to 80% of women over the age of 50. Well, what happens is your fat cells cannot be used when there is sugar in the bloodstream. Let me say that again. You cannot use the fat or the sugar out of your fat cells for energy when there is sugar in your bloodstream. If your blood sugars are spiking, you will not lose fat. So what are the symptoms that you have elevated blood sugar levels or unstable? blood sugar levels? Well, these are some symptoms. Are you holding belly fat? That is a key. Do you find you get that afternoon slump? Another key. Do you find that you get cravings, especially for sugar and carbohydrate? Another key. Have you discovered that your metabolism has got slower and you've lost your lean muscle mass? Another key. So if you find that these symptoms are what's happening to you, the likelihood is that your blood sugar levels are unstable. While they are unstable, you will find it very difficult to lose weight. This woman, that Dr. Gundry's patient, she was on a calorie-reduced diet, eating only foods, very compliant, that should have stopped the blood sugar spikes, but it didn't, and she actually increased her weight. So what to do? Dr. Gundry explains to stabilize blood sugars that are unstable does take a lot of work. It does not happen overnight. So please be aware of that. So I want to share with you a biochemist out there whose name is Jessie. I've written it down, Inchorst. She's a biochemist and she specializes in hacks on how to stop blood sugar spikes. Now, I truly recommend that you take your blood sugar seriously if you are an aging woman that wants to stay in tip-top shape as you do age, yeah? Please take it seriously because it can create all sorts of problems. Increased blood sugar levels will put you at risk of diabetes. It will put you at risk of pre-diabetes and onto diabetes. When you become a diabetic, it becomes very difficult to lose weight. It also puts you at risk of obesity, and that can lead to things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and heart disease. So do take it seriously, and I'm going to discuss with you today 3 ways that you can hack your blood sugar to make it more stable as you move forward in our aging process to help you to be able to lose weight. Sound good? All righty, here we go. Tip 1, girls, you know that I am the exercise queen. So tip 1 is you must increase your lean muscle mass. Why, do I hear you ask? Because we want to make those storage houses bigger. So when we do eat food and they knock on our muscles and say, here we go, here's sugar to give you energy, we can go, happy days, bring it in. We're going to have more energy and we're going to have lots of lean muscle mass. We're going to have a good metabolism. How much better does it get? So step 1 is increase your lean muscle mass. How do you do that? You do that through a thing called resistance training. You know, there was a study out there where a group just dieted, another group dieted and did cardio. Now, cardio in this research paper was just walking, and the last group dieted and did resistance training. And what did they discover? They discovered that the dieters that just dieted lost their lean muscle mass. Big picture, they slowed down their metabolism. The group that dieted and did cardio exercise lost even more lean muscle mass. What does that mean? That they were in the worst boat of all, because not only did they lose some lean muscle mass, they lost a bit more, which made their metabolism even slower. Oh, what does that mean? It means you've got to calorie reduce even more to keep losing weight. And it's a treadmill none of us want to be on. It's not healthy. The group that dieted and did resistance training, they were able to lose the most fat and at the same time gain their lean muscle mass. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in our second lesson, so I'm not going to go into it further, But just know, step 1, get back your lean muscle mass. Step 2, now this is Jessie, the biochemist hack, is to have between a teaspoon and a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar 15 or 20 minutes prior to your meals to help you to stabilize your blood sugars. And so what it does is she's done some studies on herself, really. She's ate different foods and she's taken her blood sugar levels, and she found by having this apple cider vinegar 15 to 20 minutes prior will assist with you keeping your blood sugar levels stable. I started to do the research on this, and I quickly discovered, as you could as well if you Google it, that there was a research paper done, and these people were having 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar 2 times a day for 12 weeks, along with an eating plan, and they were able to lose this incredible amount of fat. So I think that that is another tip to think about. And the third tip I'm going to share with you, you may not have heard, because once again, it is latest research out there. They've discovered, do you ever eat and after you've eaten, you sort of just feel like sitting? If you're not sure, just be curious next time you have a meal. I know I do. And if you can get out of your chair and go for a 10 to 15 minute brisk walk, we do it as a family with the dog, Pluto, you can find that it will bring your blood sugars all the way down. Once again, Jessie shows this on a graph. It's an incredible how just a 10 to 15 minute walk can really bring down your blood sugar levels. So the more that you can bring down your blood sugar levels and keep them stable, the easier it is for you to lose weight. Yeah, 10 to 15 minutes after each meal. Alrighty, they're the 3 tips I want to share. There are more, but girls, just stay with this program. It's a masterclass today to give you a bit of an idea of how you can move forward, and just be sure to make sure that you're a part of our Women's 40 Plus online health club and on my email list, so that you do keep getting all this latest research and information to keep yourself healthy and fit. All right, let's get on to lesson number 2.
Before we move on, I just want to share this graph with you that shows what happens to your glucose with and without exercise. So if you look on the left here, you'll see those numbers. It says 4, 5, 6, and 7, and that is your glucose level. You can see down the bottom, the blue line says no exercise, and the red dots is those that do exercise. You can also see at the bottom of this graph that it goes 0, 24, 48, 72, 96. And this is actual hours. So we've got 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours. So this is over a few days. So what you can see in those blue spikes is when you do not exercise, your glucose levels rise dramatically more than those that do exercise regularly. Would you agree with that? And are you seeing that? So the red dots are showing your blood glucose level never really rises the same as those that do not exercise. All right, now let's get on to the next graph. Now this graph shows the effect of walking for 10 minutes after each meal. So you'll see at the bottom it says overall how much it improves your glucose levels after breakfast, after lunch, and after dinner. Ladies, I don't know about you, but I was a little bit shocked to see this graph and how much it helps you to reduce your glucose levels after dinner. It is over 20%. Unbelievable. You can see overall by you walking just that 10 minutes or moving for 10 minutes after you eat each day, you overall are helping your glucose levels be down by about, what do you think, about 12%? And just knowing that by lowering your glucose levels, you are improving your overall body health, which will allow you to lose weight much easier. So once again, I'll say it just one more time. Do take your blood sugar spikes seriously and share in the journey of doing those hacks on a regular basis. I'm just wanting to show off some of our beautiful clients and the results that they've been able to achieve as an aging woman because they chose to take the step. We have Sandy here on the left, and Sandy was in her 40s, a hairdresser from Coffs Harbour, and as you can see, she was able to lose 16 kilos. What I love about Sandy's journey is she really did eat along the way. There certainly wasn't any dieting, and you can see the beautiful lean muscle tone she was able to regain. On the right, we've got the gorgeous Leanne. I think she may have been 49 in this picture. And Leanne, I believe it was 10 to 12 kilos that Leanne was able to lose. Her goal, girl, was to do up her jeans, and look at her go. She was able to do that with ease and just look beautiful. Ladies, this too can be you. Please don't think because you're older that it's too late. It is never too late. The first step is often the hardest. And ladies, here is gorgeous Karen, and Karen has become such a dedicated tribe member. She's been with me really from day one, and she has not faltered. This was just in 12 weeks, and what an incredible transformation Karen was able to make. And what I love about these journeys is you can see as the girls get back their lean muscle mass, not only does it speed up their metabolism, but their body shape. Can you really see how this shape is really taking place? And this is one of the keys to how to get those great results over the age of 50. Okay, girls, I just want to share one more example, and I just want to show you how this client has been able to lose belly fat by taking these steps seriously. And she was part of our 12-week lean body system, a school teacher, and you can really see being able to lose that belly fat area. Not only does she look better, obviously feel better, but it's really reduced her risk of things like heart disease. So the more belly fat we hold, the higher we are at risk of inflammatory type disease such as diabetes, obesity, and heart disease. So just another example of taking that step.
Okay, now I would like to talk about our metabolism. So I've given you a little bit of a clue about how to stabilize one of your hormones by bringing your blood sugar levels into more flat area rather than up and down. And now I want to talk about the second key, which is getting back your metabolism. So as we age over the age of 30, we naturally start to slow down our metabolism. And if you choose to get it back, you can get great results. You know, just recently on my Facebook page, I don't know if you saw my post, but it was of one of my beautiful clients. Her name's Denise, and she's 62 years of age. And she wrote, I have lost 17 kilos since working with our different programs. Denise went into these programs that we do with the intention of being able to lose weight, to be able to spend more time with her husband, her family, and she said, most of all, be able to play with her grandchildren. You know, she'd written to me one day, it was early in the morning, and she was saying, thank you so much, Dana. I actually had a running race with my grandson. I think he was 4, or he could have been 5. And she said, I was just so happy I could do that. Her memories, her goal of creating magical memories with her grandchildren were coming true. And I want that for you ladies also. So if you feel like you're gaining weight, your body shape's changing, you've got no energy, I want you to really think about this next step in getting back your metabolism. And the main way to get back your metabolism is in the way that you move and in how you eat. So the way that you move, we need to get back our lean muscle mass. The reality is, over the age of 30, we lose approximately 5% of our lean muscle mass per decade. So that's every 10 years. As you lose your lean muscle mass, not only does that mean you slow down your metabolism because your body doesn't need as much energy to feed all your nice strong muscles, it also puts you at risk of things like osteoporosis, osteopenia, which is the port before osteoporosis. And for those of you that are not sure what osteoporosis is, it is brittle bones, and that can lead to things like fractures and breaks within the body. Having a slow metabolism because of low lean muscle mass also stops your body from maintaining its strength. So you might go, well, that's okay, but think about that from a deeper level. Your pelvic floor is part of your strength. So if you found you've become incontinent and you can no longer hold on, that's because your muscles are getting weaker. If you found that your posture is just not as good, you've got your head forward, you're stooping over, that is because your muscles are not as strong as they once were. If you find that you've got lower back pain, could it be that your core muscles are not as strong as they once were? If you find it difficult to get up out of a chair without holding onto something, your leg muscles aren't as strong as they were. Are you noticing that you're starting to trip in the rises in the concrete out on the footpath? You're not lifting your feet as much. Your muscles aren't as strong as they were. So you can see when you lose your lean muscle mass, you're actually heading on the road of losing independent life. And having worked in an aged care facility, I do not recommend that for anybody. Girls, having to sit in a chair waiting for someone to take you to the toilet, waiting for someone to come to visit you, waiting for someone to bath you, waiting for someone to dress you, waiting for someone to brush your hair because you've not got the strength in your shoulders to be able to brush your hair, or stand on one leg to be able to put on your underpants. This is a life where you become dependent on other people. We want to stay as independent as we possibly can and be able to lose weight and look and feel the best we can as we're getting older. Yeah. So it is super important. So if I said to you that you're starting to lose about 5% of lean muscle mass over the age of 30, by the time you're 60, you've lost approximately 15% of your lean muscle mass. So things are getting weaker. Yeah. If I can get back just 5% of your lean muscle mass by how you move and how you eat, your body is now acting 10 years younger, and you've sped up your metabolism by 10 years. You know, I've had one client after another that when they've got back their metabolism, they've been able to eat approximately an extra 300 calories a day. So for many of us, we grew up in an era where you go on a diet to lose weight. What I try and teach my women is eat to speed up your metabolism. As you speed up your metabolism, you will require more food just to keep your body in shape. Happy days, more food, more enjoyment. So it is really important that we consider getting outside our comfort zone and progressing with what I call resistance training. So resistance training is very different to cardiovascular training, and it's very different to doing yoga and Pilates and stretching and walking. So I find a lot of ladies our age go, I exercise, I do yoga, I do Pilates, and I walk. Happy days, girls. I call those accessory exercises. You must lift heavy things for your body to get back in shape. I'm sorry, but this is what you must do. And so, you know, I always say transformation happens just outside your comfort zone. And if I drew a circle here, and I drew another circle here and another circle here, what I'm going to say to you is in this circle in the middle is what I call your comfort zone. And that's where you feel comfortable. I'm flexible, so I love to go to yoga. Or I'm cardiovascularly fit, so I love to go for those hill walks or those runs on the beach. They feel good. But what if I said to you that you need to push out of your comfort zone for transformation to happen, for long-term change to happen to your health and fitness? If you push out of your comfort zone, you get uncomfortable and you have a program that is suited to you, but it sort of challenges you. It pushes you out that little bit that you think, oh, I can do it, but just. And then as you get stronger, you push out of your comfort zone even more. And now suddenly you're working on this outside circle. Girls, this is where it all happens. Unfortunately, I would say probably 95% of the population sit in their comfort zone. And they make excuses. I do yoga, I stretch, I go for a walk, I meditate, I eat healthy. I just don't understand why I can't lose weight. And the reason is because you must get back your lean muscle mass to speed up your metabolism to be able to lose weight as an aging woman over the age of 50. Full stop. We must look at the 4 pillars of health. So we still want to walk and we still want to stretch and we still want to do our core strengthening and our yoga and our meditation and eat well. But we must add that pillar in so we have strong bones, we have strong muscles, strong pelvic floors, good posture, preventing heart disease, diabetes, cholesterol, blood pressure, injuries to our body. We must get back our lean muscle mass. Okay, so I'm just going to finish here with a story. I had a client who did one of my programs. I've got several programs, and I think it might have been the 12-week lean body system, and she wrote to me at the end of it, and she lost all her weight, and she said, Dana, I don't know what to do. I'm still losing weight, and I actually don't want to. I want to stabilize. What do I do? Well, girls, what a problem to have. So what I recommended to that client was what you need to do is you need to add about 100 calories in a day to your diet plan and see if that stabilizes your weight. If you are still losing weight, you need to add another 100. And as I explained to you just a moment ago, if I can get back 5% of your lean muscle mass, you can approximately eat an extra 300 calories a day. So it's a great problem to have. Rather than having to diet to lose weight, you actually find your base point of how many calories you can eat to maintain a healthy weight once you've got back your metabolism in a kicking and firing way. Yeah. Alrighty. Okay, well, I think that's all I wanted to share with you in lesson number 2. And now let's get into lesson number 3.
Can you relate to any of this? Can you relate to feeling frustrated and confused? You feel like you're eating the same, you're exercising, but that weight is just not shifting. Maybe you feel tired, exhausted, and you just don't know where to go from here. Or do you ever find yourself wondering, if I can't get hold of my health, where does that lead me in my 60s and my 70s? Ladies, Oprah says, we don't know what we don't know. But she also says that once we do know, we can make better choices and we can, in her words, do better. So my job is to give you education for you to be able to make better choices, better decisions, understand how your body works over the age of 50, so you are able to lose weight with ease. What I do want you to know is that over the age of 50, if you choose to go on calorie-reduced diets and fad exercise programs, you are harming yourself rather than creating health. The more we go on a diet, the more we eat into our lean muscle mass. The more we eat into our lean muscle mass, the slower our metabolism. The slower our metabolism, the harder it is to lose weight, and we accelerate aging. If we choose to go on fad diets, what we often find is our body is not ready for that, and we really put ourselves at risk of injury. Once we injure ourselves as a woman over 50, we don't tend to be able to heal as quickly as in our 20s and our 30s. And some of you may have experienced that. So I don't want you to think, oh, just go off willy-nilly and do this exercise program and that exercise program, because being in the industry for 30 years, I have seen some real doozies of examples of women that have done it incorrectly. So I don't want that for you. So what I do want for you is to think about step 1, bring those hormones into harmony. Step 2, let's speed up our metabolism. And now step 3, let me talk to you about lowering inflammation in your body. And last but not least, we think about our healthy lifestyle habits that are either sabotaging us or supporting us in our weight loss goals. All right, girls, let's continue.
Alrighty, we're getting through it. Here we are into our third lesson today. And have you heard of a word called inflammaging? Well, if you haven't, what it means is when you have chronic inflammation in your body, basically the research shows that you are on the highway to dying earlier. So how do we reduce inflammation in our body? What is chronic inflammation, and more importantly, what can we do about it? Well, guys, what I want to share with you is inflammation can come in good and bad ways. In regard to aging, let's start with the good news first. We have what we call acute inflammation and chronic inflammation. Acute is inflammation that happens and goes. Chronic inflammation stays and continues to progress. So acute inflammation, we as aging women give it a big tick when it is attached to us doing our resistance training, lifting heavy things. So when you lift heavy things in exercise and you do it correctly with correct technique, sometimes the next day you can get a little bit sore in those muscles. And what happens is you actually break down the muscle fiber. So it's inflammation in the muscle fiber. And then your body goes and repairs that muscle fiber. And that then makes you stronger and toner, and hence growth of your lean muscle mass. So that is what we call an acute inflammation process, which has positive outcome to aging. But what I want to talk about is chronic inflammation. And chronic inflammation can come in things like chronic disease. So we know obesity, heart disease, blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, they are all chronic disease. Also things like chronic stress levels. So you are chronically anxious or chronically depressed. So you may have days where you're just like up and down with mood swings. This would be all classed as chronic inflammation in the body. So also we have things like liver disease, and that is chronic inflammation into your liver. What I want you to know is your immune system is your friend. It tries to keep your body well. 70% of your immune system sits just outside your gut lining. 70%. Your immune system is what fights viruses, bacteria, keeps your body as well as possible. When you eat foods that are causing inflammation in your body, what can happen is you can upset the bacteria in your gut health, and you can end up with a thing that we call leaky gut. Now, you may have heard of it, and what I want to share with you is if you know, those wire screen doors you have to keep the flies out, and they're like all meshed, aren't they? So the flies cannot get in. But imagine in your mesh that you get a little hole in there, and then the flies can get in that hole. Yeah, we've all experienced that, haven't we? Or the bugs can get in. Well, the same can happen to your immune system. So if you are chronically eating food that is not agreeing with you, you're getting bloatedness, you're getting gas, you're getting an uncomfortable stomach, over time, it basically eats into that lining and can cause a little bit of a hole, and that can allow bacteria to get into your bloodstream. Your immune system goes, oh no, not good, go and fight those guys. So you can end up with a reduced immune system, which isn't great at our age to fight disease. So what I want for you to think about is, how can I stop inflammaging in my body? So from a food perspective, the way that you eat, the research shows that the most common foods that give us gut problems are dairy, wheat, and sugar. Now, girls, I'm just going to go back to sugar, because when I did lesson 1, I said to you, does fruit make you fat? I never answered that question, did I? I just want to share with you that when you eat carbohydrate and it spikes your blood sugar and you cannot lose weight, we often eat fruit that is full of natural sugar, but it is sugar, and it spikes our blood sugar levels, and so you won't lose weight. If you eat too much fruit, if you're a bit of a fruit bat and you think, well, it's healthy, it's full of nutrition, you can potentially be putting yourself at risk of continued high blood sugar, creating pre-diabetes, onto diabetes, weight gain, obesity, and everything else that goes along with that, and inflammaging in the body, because you've now put yourself at risk of things like chronic disease. I love fruit. I certainly do not say don't eat fruit, but I will just share with you a tip here. I always say to my girls that are doing my 12-week lean body system, which shows you how to lose 10 kilos in 12 weeks, only eat fruit before lunchtime, so that even if it does increase your blood sugar levels, the likelihood is you'll burn it off in energy and it won't sit in your bloodstream. I always recommend that you look at the types of fruit that you're also eating, and just be mindful and conscious, if you're trying to lose weight, of those fruits that are less likely to spike your blood sugars. So things like berries are a fantastic choice when we're trying to lose weight, because they don't tend to have as much sugar in them. All right, I just wanted to share that. So dairy is another area that can cause problems. The thing I like about dairy is it is a form of protein, but if you find that your tummy, it gets bloated and gas, it may be worth doing a test and a measure and seeing if that stops that situation, because ultimately you're going to allow your body to lose weight easier if it's not inflamed. So when your body's inflamed, it often holds fluid because it's trying to protect your body, because your body is not well. And so you can be holding quite a bit of fluid, and hence the bloatedness and the gas in the tummy area. So I do recommend that you think about things like sugar, gluten, wheat products, dairy, and also if you are susceptible to things like alcohol can cause inflammation in the body, and all those type of foods that create chronic stress. So once again, promoting the idea of eating what we call clean food and having a combination of good sourced protein, good sourced healthy fats, and good sourced low GI carbohydrates. Low GI being low glycemic index, so it keeps your blood sugars low, stops the inflammation. And that, I always say, is lots of green fibrous vegetables, fruit before lunchtime, 2 pieces. Keep yourself as hydrated as you possibly can. 70% of the population is considered dehydrated, which will stop you from losing weight. Eat regularly to keep your metabolism high, and make sure that you are doing the steps needed to speed up your metabolism, which is doing your resistance training, lifting heavy things. All right, girls, I feel like I've gone on enough today. So I do want to finish with saying thank you for spending this time with me. If you would like to continue the journey on learning all about how to support your metabolism and slow down the effects of aging and lose weight in that little bit easier way, be sure to join me on Women 40 Plus Online Health Club, where you will have access to all my programs, and just jump on my email list and you'll be the first to know when they do come available. All right, well, take care. Until next time, I'll see you then. Thank you.